ASIO boss Mike Burgess has claimed Palestinians who support Hamas with rhetorical views, not hardline actions, might not be blocked from getting a visa into Australia. Joining us live now, Senator Jacqui Lambie, to talk about this and other issues too. So, Jacqui, good to see you. Should Palestinians who support Hamas, which is a listed terror organisation, with rhetorical views still be allowed in?
Absolutely not. For goodness sake, what is wrong with the government? Start toughening up. And those out there doing hate speech, if they're dual citizens, then bloody well send them back home, Pete. I mean, for goodness sake, what are they so frightened of? I tell you what, when it comes to national security in this country, they lack the courage. The Labor Party does. It's absolutely shocking. We cannot afford to take any chances whatsoever in this country right now. Have you seen the instability around the rest of the world? What's going on in the Middle East, let alone, what is going on in Israel on the Gaza Strip? What is going on with Russia and Ukraine, and then there's other parts of the world as well. It is a very unpleasant world at the moment, and quite frankly, if you gave us stuff about our national security, you'd be tightening things up right now as tight as what you possibly can. We cannot afford to just go, oh yeah, just maybe. I'm sorry, you don't have that bit of room to move anymore. It's over.
Is it Labor or ASIO that lacks the courage?
I think it's Labor. Labor can make, Labor, the government of the day does the bills, okay? And I'm quite sure that ASIO has to sort of still be polite to the government in a nice way, and I'm quite sure that Mr Burgess is trying to find some middle ground, but quite frankly, I believe that we can't afford any middle ground on this. It's either 100% of absolutely not and putting Australians first in this country. We just can't afford the risk, mate. We cannot afford the risk.
So you're not comfortable or satisfied with the systems that are in place for granting visas at the moment?
No, I am very, very worried about the granting of visas, and I think that we really need to go back and review these visas, and we should decide once again who's coming into this country and who is not. And this is a really critical time, not just in Australia, but right across the world. With instability over this sort of stuff, and quite frankly, we're going to have to harden up on this. So,
should some be allowed in, or do you think perhaps all of them, the Palestinians from war-torn Gaza, shouldn't be allowed in?
I just think if there's any doubt whatsoever, if they have contact with Hamas, or if there's any sniff of it whatsoever, it's an absolute no. That's it. It's an absolute no. I have to worry about the citizens in this country before anybody else's, because that's my job as a senator. And quite frankly, for somebody who's served, like many others out there, our place in this country is making sure the nation is first and foremost always. And I will always do that. And I'm sorry if that upsets people, but, the safety of this country comes first, always.
So what does this, or what could it do for social cohesion, which has already lost its thread, which has often been whipped up by activists and members of the Greens as well? Social cohesion, is it already in a way that is unacceptable?
Social cohesion in this country is broken, let's be honest, and the Greens have absolutely smashed it apart. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that once stood steady, and those pieces are everywhere, and you can blame the Greens Party for that, and their behaviour up here in the last 6 months has just been bloody atrocious. That they are not the party of peace, they are the party of division, and there is no doubt about that, and their own supporters are starting to see that, and I imagine that's why they're starting to drop in the polls, and I won't stop pumping them, because quite frankly, their behaviour up here is disgraceful.
Jacqui, we'll leave it there. That's Jacqui Lambie, the Independent Senator.